right. Welcome back to another episode of Take a Foul. Today is Tuesday after the Monday Summer League just wrapped up. Congratulations to the Cleveland Cavaliers for that ring. A huge chip going back to Cleveland. Led
going
by.
back.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess I don't know the history of Summer League championships.
That was a real thing that ESPN sent a notification about. They were like,
the last time they
back.
won it, I think it was with LeBron. So,
The Summer League championship?
Votes ready. Yeah.
Isaiah Mobley's got next.
Did you see Imani Bates? Like, I couldn't tell if he was actually trying to, but he was like sort of trying to recreate that like iconic Kobe photo where he's like looking down with like the Larry O'Brien.
Yeah.
No, come on. They gotta have fun with it. They gotta have fun with it.
Yeah, I guess.
So yeah, I guess like let's just talk Summer League for a sec before getting into the broader off season. What were some things that you guys took away?
I'm seeing the worst fucking discourse around on TikTok about like how guys are mad that more people don't play in the summer league to like start gelling with their teammates or to prove themselves on new roster spots. Not for like do like 4+ years. It's for people who are trying to earn roster spots and like stuff like that. I don't think people understand really what the summer league's for. It's not preseason basketball. That's not what it is. Like they have their own preseason later on. It is literally for guys who like newly drafted or undrafted guys who try to earn a spot. I've been hearing. I just like been pretty frustrated with what I've been seeing. Like, oh, why isn't Jordan Poole playing for the Wizards summer league team? Like, why the
Jordan
fuck?
Poole?
It's like not like Jordan Poole. Yeah, it's odd, dude. I'm telling you, man, it's crazy.
Well, I'm not
like,
on
it is
that
absolutely
app.
insane. Yeah.
Can you imagine if you got sentenced to Washington and then got sentenced to Summer League?
Washington Summer League.
That would be his 13th reason, dude.
Dude, oh yeah, you'd have to be on a watch.
Life alert.
I get. So was this discourse surrounding like mostly second year players and third year players, that kind of thing? Or
No,
what?
it's like basically anyone who wasn't great on a team before who would move to a new team, they want to go and play to try to gel with their team. Their argument is that they need to gel with their teammates, but those aren't going to be their teammates.
No.
Like those guys aren't going to be the ones who are on the roster, and like I just think like there's a misunderstanding of what summer league basketball is and what it's for. It's like it's AAU, and that's what it is.
And also, like, if you were on a roster last year and like had like a full-time contract, then you made it. Like you fucking did it, bro. Like you did the thing.
Yeah.
Great. And it was interesting though, I guess, seeing like a few of like the second year guys come out, like Jalen Williams on the Thunder. I think he played a game and just looked insane. Like Keegan Murray came out.
Jabari,
like 40
Jabari
points.
Smith Jr. played, right?
Yeah, he looked great. He played more games than the other two guys, but I think he also was more unproven.
But like they don't need to be playing against those dudes from Santa Clara, bro. Like that's like what I'm saying. Like we know what they can do, and they're going to be on a roster. It's like
No respect for Santa Clara on this podcast.
no, none.
Hey,
Clara
Santa Clara Jalen Williams.
Oh, wait, no. I was thinking of Pepperdine. But
Oh.
Santa Clara, too. Yeah, fuck them.
All right.
Anything in the West Conference.
Actually, I really respect Santa Clara basketball.
Big 360 there. All right.
Okay.
You guys, famous point guard who went to Santa Clara. Steve Nash.
Steve? Yeah.
I like what I saw from Chet. It was good to see him out there. He looked comfortable with his role, and I don't know. In the games where he scored a ton of points, like the pick and roll defense was like pretty appalling, where he just like set a screen and roll to the basket and would just be wide open, and they'd pass it to him and he'd dunk it. But like I don't know, even so, like he looked comfortable. and it was good to see him out there. Maybe a dark horse Rookie of the Year pick.
Yeah, I was just going to say I'm going to bet it.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if he's a dark horse anymore. I think he moved up to second favorite.
Past Scoot?
Yeah.
On the odds, or like, do you think
on
that?
the odds?
Okay.
On the odds. I bet him before. I think he's moved up now.
What do you think?
I think Chet might be, because he's going to play obviously more games than Victor, this upcoming year. Just like anticipating that, so I do think that's a good value pick, regardless of like where he's at.
Why do you think he's going to play more games than Victor?
I mean, they're already kind of inching toward, like, they're already starting the narrative of like easing him into the NBA and not like dumping a huge load on him, the Spurs front office. So like, I mean, I don't anticipate him playing like a complete year. Like I just don't think that's what.
What do you think of his comments that the NBA is not as physical as Euroball based off Summer League?
That's crazy.
That
was crazy.
You should be able to play 82 games.
Yeah,
I don't think
he's in this. That
was dumb.
Honestly,
he said that about the NBA, and he was like, "Bro, you haven't played in the NBA."
Tough Summer League for Victor on the court, but especially off. Yeah, definitely tough.
His second game,
tough debut. His second game was
his
awesome.
First game was.
Second game was fine. Averages bad. Off the court, disaster.
With
hey,
Britney?
no, that Britney.
Yes.
No, she's full of
disgrace.
shit.
That's a disgrace. What do you mean? There's a video of Victor just throwing her across the room. That claim about
not spreading that.
Not at all.
That happened. The claim about the NBA not being as physical as the EuroLeague when he lost in the first round to Monaco. I mean, what are we talking about? Like, could you try harder to put a target on your forehead? Like,
that's dumb, but he's
going to get thrown a couple times.
He's still not the dumbest one of those first three. Brandon Miller, I don't think ever has watched basketball before in his life.
Ooh,
I don't think he's ever seen a basketball game. I think like he didn't know who Chris Middleton was.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
Yeah, it's like if you don't know who Isaiah Hartenstein is, like fine,
All right, sure.
Like sure, like maybe you weren't watching a ton of NBA basketball. How do you not know who Chris Middleton is? This is the guy whose GOAT is Paul George.
George.
Yeah, I didn't watch that. I didn't listen to that podcast, but I bet it was just like fucking
God, yeah,
glaze
brain
fest.
stuff in
there. Scoot looked great in his game before he got injured. I thought looked really, really comfortable, poised. Like. I don't know. It looked like $1 million.
Like a beast.
It's too bad both Scoot and Amen Thompson got injured right off the bat. That was like tough to see, but I'm sure they'll be back and fine.
Did they say anything about Scoot's injury?
Well, he was thinking about coming back during Summer League. I don't think it was very serious. Oh, wait. The stupidest thing going back to the stupidest thing that happened during Summer League. The stupidest thing that happened during Summer League was Ballsack Sports tweeting out Imani Bates' stat line. And then...
Well, there's layers to this.
Yeah, wait, could you explain it?
Okay, so they tweeted out his stat line, then he posted it. And then some account quote tweeted that he posted it and also then posted the wrong stats from that game and said he had like 12 points when he had like 19 instead of like Ballsack Sports said he had like 27.
Yeah.
Imani Bates posted that, reposted Ballsack when he only had like 21 or something.
So Imani Bates.
And then the guy that went viral was like, how do you do this? You only had 12 and 8. When he actually had like 21 and like 8. So there's like 3 people getting it wrong.
I didn't know the third layer to that, but
like,
it sounds like Imani Bates got sacked, and
it's not a great look. He's
thought
never
that he had 27 points when he like clearly did
never
it.
ending.
Maybe he can't count.
Hey, I never know the score of pickup games when I be playing. I never ever know. So
This basically is that.
okay. Anything else? Any like surprising guys in summer league before we move on?
Dude, what's the dude? Kai Jones from Charlotte.
Is that the dude that posterized Victor?
Yeah, dude, he's a crazy athlete. I watch a lot of
Crazy
Charlotte's
athlete.
games. He's jumping out of the gym. I don't think like there's a lot more to him right now, but like that could be if he can develop any other sort of game other than just jumping really high and being strong, that could be something fun.
Also, legitimately, Victor's shot is like gross right now. Like 60% of the time, it's like just gross. Which I guess I'm not saying he misses 60% of the time. He misses way more than
You just
that.
don't like his jumper.
It's like half the time it's an air ball or like goes over the rim. Yuck.
He's adapting to the American game, dude. Different hoops.
Less physical.
It's physical, yeah. But yeah, I mean, congrats to the Cavs.
Bring him.
Yeah. All
Really
right.
hard to bet, Really hard to bet.
My dog just pissed on her fucking
Oh no.
on her bed. Why did you do that? I didn't even see it. I just see the fucking whatever.
You
Moving
need to
on.
take a break?
Moving on. No, it's fine. No,
Alright.
it's clean it later. Let's see. Off-season moves. A lot. Like I guess the big things that happened were like the Porzingis trade and the Beal trade. In terms of the free agents, a lot of them just ended up going back to their teams. Like there's a little bit of Draymond Green talk. There's a little bit of Kyrie Irving talk. There's a little bit of Jeremy Grant talk.
Dog hates Draymond, dude.
Yeah. But that
You got the ding and then Mike's cat's going off in the back too.
what's going on? Anyway, what should we start with?
Zoom tomorrow.
Should we go with good moves that you liked?
Sure. Yeah, there's a lot less moves I liked than moves I hated, so we can start with that. The Kristaps move for Boston. I mean, like I don't know how they got away with that trade, man. I just don't get how they came away with draft picks with that situation. And I do think it does patch a big hole they had. Like as much as I do like Al Horford, in moments Al Horford was great. Al Horford is not consistent enough to be like a starting center for that team if they really want to try to win. So I do think Kristaps is a great addition for them. And yeah, I mean, like I just don't know how they just keep fleecing people in these conversations.
I think on paper it's like Marcus Smart goes out, Kristaps Porzingis, arguably a more productive offensive player than Marcus Smart. Other net positives or whatever we just don't really know yet. And then like two first round picks, I think.
Yeah.
Come back. Like that's an insane haul for Marcus Smart. Sure. Basketball wise and culture wise, I'm not quite sure about the fit. I think they'll be able to make a way to make this work. And in a way, it does fit Missoula ball a little better with just like another dude that's just going to chuck up threes and drive and kick. I don't think that it's going to lead to like a championship. This could bite me in the back like in a year, but like I think that like deep into the postseason, they're identityless. I think they're identityless. Like I think they've completely lost their defensive identity that they established with Ime Udoka. And offensively, sure, like maybe they can swing the ball around a little more, and like Porzingis isn't a connector, I guess. He's like a finisher.
All right. Okay, I get where you're saying, but at the same time, like, do you think they're a better team right now than they were at the end of the year when they had Smart, or no? Because I think replacing Kristaps and for Marcus Smart is big, because there was a few moments in the playoffs in where Marcus Smart had wide open shots in which he could really ice a game, and he's just missing shots. He wasn't like a danger offensively ever, and now it does, I think, open up more room for like Tatum to be able to drive, because like if he drives and he kicks, like it's going to be Kristaps out there, and that's a little bit more threatening than having Al Horford or Marcus Smart standing on the perimeter.
Yeah, I mean, I think Marcus Smart did end up with the ball in a lot of like major situations, and I think that was by design by the other teams. So that's a good point. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't like. We'll just have to see how this group gels, I guess, because like it was an era. To me, it's like this. It's like winning a championship in the NBA is never a given thing. It's not something that you can ever guarantee. Like the closest thing was like the fucking Warriors with Kevin Durant. Sure, like that was the closest thing. But with how the league is now, there's so much parity. All you can ask for is like a chance. And the Boston Celtics were in the finals. They're in the conference finals. And like they did that like 4 straight years or at this point, whatever, for the last 5 years. And like that was a team that always had a chance, and if like some chips fell in a different direction, then I think they could have easily won a championship. I'm not quite sold on them completely like lacking something and in need of this something like big like this to be able to propel them over the edge. I'm not sure if like they could. I think they could have just done a few more things on the fringes.
But if like the two main reasons you're doing that, like if you're still able to retain those two pieces, and then you have just like a better, like more talented cast around them, like you would think that either that doesn't like make you any less likely to win. Like I think replacing Marcus Smart with Kristaps is probably like that probably adds something in terms of your rotation. I don't know. I just think if like you're hovering around it for so long and like you have really good chances and you see a way to like actually improve, then like I don't know. I mean, I think it was
Yeah, I agree with like, and then also they got 2 first-round picks.
Yeah, I mean it's absurd. The haul is absurd for Marcus Smart, and like I guess the other part of it is that who knows, he's on the other side of 30, like who knows what kind of player Marcus Smart is going to be. I think it's a perfect pickup for Memphis, like culturally, but
put a chip on his shoulder too.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. If he's going to be a productive player like he was during like the prime years in Boston. Like he took a step backwards offensively and defensively last year.
Yeah. he's an energy guy, you know, and like he's a grinder, he's a hard worker, and that's just like the essence of him as a basketball player. The older he gets, the less he's going to be able to physically do that, you know.
It also seems like they're kind of trying to replace him, like both Tyus Jones and Dylan Brooks with Marcus Smart.
Yeah,
because like the only other point guard they got was Derrick Rose, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Which is
washed.
Yeah.
Oh my 100%. God! Did you see that like Fournier quote?
Dude, wild. Dude,
what's going on with that
I forgot
guy?
He was on that team. I forgot he was there.
Tibbs won't play him.
He
like, sucks. What do you mean?
Dude, he's like, I'm forging myself in the crucible of training this summer. Like, you'll just watch.
Me and D Rose are looking at each other.
Yeah,
I will say he was given the U.S. fits for a minute in that Olympics.
Yeah, sure.
He was giving us some panic.
Ever since he lost his hair, he's been useless.
All right. What are you guys' favorite moves?
So we're doing favorite and underrated separately, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Different underrated. If you have them both.
I mean, if they're the same, then that's fine too.
I have several, so I can. I kind of like what the Suns did in free agency. I don't know about the whole Bradley Beal thing, but like
what are you
the Metu.
I agree.
Metu to the Suns, Eric Gordon, and Drew Banks. That's legit.
Eric Gordon deserves the world, man, for what he's had to put up with. That man deserves a shot to win a ring.
Yeah.
No wonder he took the minimum.
Spend those years. They just left him in Houston, bro. Everyone left him in Houston and forgot about it.
I like the Eric Gordon one is the big one there. I also like Metu and Eubanks. Oh, okay. I do like Eubanks as a minimum guy though, because I don't know, he played like rotation minutes. I mean, sure, the Blazers were bad, but like he was a heavy play part of that rotation. Good value on that. Metu also was part of the regular season rotation. He fell out in the playoffs, but a lot of people do.
He's effective.
Watanabe was shooting like fucking 80% from the corner at some point before like they picked up like 5 more wings on the team in the KD trade, and they stopped playing him at all. So yeah, that was clearly like a KD recruitment, which I thought was cool.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, I agree. It will be interesting though, because it's like you look at the spot track like salaries for that team, and it goes 47 for Durant, like 46 for Beal, like 36 for Booker, 32 for Aiden, and then it's 3. It's 3.
It's like classic
and everyone's
Miami
got 3.
Roster.
Yeah, and they're all just on minimums. So I mean, there are a lot of jokes about like how it's going to be like those 4 plus like some Twitter users, to field that team.
KD's a Twitter user himself.
That's true. We forgot to mention Bol.
Yes, Bol
on the team. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
Take a gamble. Take a gamble on Bol.
Some people say he's better than Victor.
Yeah, I'll believe
I've seen that said.
I like the Austin Reeves signing. As far as the value that the Lakers got, I think that it's clearly like it's tampering. It's tampering.
Yeah.
To like leak like 15 times before restricted free agency starts, that they're like, go ahead, fucking like,
we'll
give them the max, like we'll match it, bitch.
But then no one did.
Exactly. So So it's like, why? What as another Western Conference team, you know, like sure the Wolves can't do it because of the cap situation, but it's like, why? You know, as the Spurs, you know, as the fucking whatever, like
Maybe
why?
the Wolves
Why
could
not?
just pretend.
Yeah, fuck it.
Throw it at them.
They don't want him. They don't want him.
It doesn't matter
I don't
because
think
the Lakers said they wanted him. So you just do it to make them pay more.
Who knows? They were telling the truth, man. Maybe it's a masterclass move by
Rich Paul.
Is it still Genie?
By it's LeBron.
Yeah, LeGM, Mike.
It's
LeGM. Yeah. $56 million just seems like too much for him. In my opinion. $56 million, 4 years. It seems like too much. Over $10 million a year for that kid. It seems like too much money for him.
Dude,
I genuinely don't think he's that good.
Looking at some of
did
the
you
other
watch the
contracts.
playoffs?
Yes, all right. I watched the playoffs. Yeah, he had a couple good games, but again, he's going to stay in LA, whatever. So he'll keep getting the favorable whistle calls and that kind of stuff. But like, I don't think he's all that great. Like, I think that I think it's fun to pick out someone who stands next to LeBron who starts getting hot a little bit and be like, "Uh-oh, watch out for this guy," you know. And then like it's super quick. They might be able to just as fast as they rose, they can drop off, you know. And then they're fixed at $56 million for 4 years on the whole. Like, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, that number, like, compared to some of the other ones this offseason doesn't, like, if they had pushed it a little bit, you could, like, say, like, that's a lot of commitment, but they kind of just got away with it.
That's great value for a player of that caliber. There were a lot of veterans. There were a lot of different, you know, productive guys on other teams on that Lakers team. And the only person that was a mainstay next to LeBron and AD was Austin Reeves. And like
2 years from now, when LeBron's gone, it's Austin Reeves and AD on that team. What does he do for them?
Runs every single pick and roll.
When he has the best guard defender having to guard him across the board, like, what is he going to do for them?
He already did have the best guard defender guarding him.
The people who guard LeBron would just be the best defender on the court.
Sure, but like people who so what they're like, I don't know what. Let's think about the matchups.
Start guarding Austin Reeves.
Yeah, like that's not going to happen. It's going to be the guard. Whoever is the guard is going to be guarding Austin Reeves. Like,
all right, I tell you what,
like 2 years.
We'll see. I am a AR-15 believer.
Yeah, you've always loved those. Yeah, especially in New York, where they're very illegal.
So. Should we do bad?
Yeah.
Do you want to do another one?
I'll do bad.
Okay.
So bad. The entirety.
Wait, did you do a good one?
Yeah, my good one was I thought the Celtics trade for Kristaps.
Oh, I thought we'd free agent specific.
Oh, I just said moves.
I was just talking moves.
Okay.
The Bulls re-signing Kobe White. Every decision the Chicago Bulls have made this offseason, terrible.
Yeah, it was
every single one has just been. Yeah, man. Like at least with Vucevic, like you've seen him play well, right? Like there's like you've seen him do things that aren't terrible. Kobe White just sucks.
The idea behind it all is I don't know what the motive is.
Kobe White's a terrible, terrible basketball player, and you signed him to a 3-year. What was the money on it? It was something outlandish.
It was like 60 or something, right?
It can't. If it's 60, I'll have a heart attack. No way, it's 60. That'd be insane. I'm gonna get
it's 33. Wait,
14 a year. 11 a year. Too much.
40 million.
It's
40
36 million
I'm seeing
guaranteed, and then it's up to 40 million with incentives.
Okay, so 12 a year. 12 million a year for Kobe White, who has done absolutely fuck all for the Bulls as a player. It's just frustrating because like they just can't decide to be like, all right, let's clean house, let's just be bad, and let's be bad. But now we're just gonna be in like, dude, I don't know. Like we had to fight to get into the play-ins. Like it was a battle to be there.
Yeah.
So, am I hearing you correctly that if you were the GM of the Chicago Bulls right now, you'd blow it up, you'd trade DeMar DeRozan away for young players and draft picks? You do the same with
one thing. Like you don't even need to do that, but you can't keep re-signing the things that don't work. Mm-hmm. Like you can't keep giving. You can't like. I'm not like even if like I get that point, but like you don't have to do like you could just not re-sign the players that just were bad. Like you can just like not re-sign Kobe White.
Yeah,
like, it would be as simple as that, and I'd be like more fine with it. I'm like, all right, we're gonna try to get and sneak into the playoffs or the low seed. Something might happen, people might click, and it might work out, right? But like when we're re-signing Kobe White, that's showing that we're not good. We're not trying to build our bench. We're not trying to build our reserves in a place that we have like people who come in and make an impact.
So we're at a interesting point in NBA history where like teams will try to re-sign their players that they like that are decent, it seems, on decent contracts just to retain the asset. And then they will be, in theory would be able to like flip that for something.
Yeah. Because eventually it'll help the tank once you know you're tanking.
Or because the other option there is to give them up for nothing. So even with like James Harden like opting into his player option is like he's doing that because like he wants the guaranteed money, and like could float his name out there, but like I don't know, even with Kyrie as well, he's like negotiated a good contract to come back. All these guys, and like from a team perspective,
I get that, but signing Kobe White's so different than the rest because like the value we're gonna get trying to flip that's not there. Like the value we're gonna get trying to trade Kobe White on a contract in which he's making $12 million a year is like not awesome. Like.
I mean, he did have a better second half.
Sure, he had a better back half of the year, but like it's still like he still wasn't good.
He doesn't seem like someone who a great team would trade for if they're like angling for a championship. But maybe if
he's still young,
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
He's done. Yeah, he's done worse every year, though. He's done worse every single year.
Yeah, no.
He's just getting worse. Like we drafted him.
All right,
that's insane.
Ike.
Man, I got several. I guess we kind of got to talk about the Dylan Brooks one. What the fuck is that shit? Just like straight. Like, what are you thinking?
Give a big middle finger to everyone on Twitter saying he's gonna be in China, man.
Said he makes $80 million guaranteed and like can't get traded or some shit.
Oh my god! I mean, the Rockets. Yeah, that's.
Yeah,
it's like
no
just because
they're doing.
Just because you had cap space, and
the Van Vliet part of it. Like at least he's like a good guy, so maybe he'll help the young guys. But Dylan Brooks is just. Doesn't seem like a good guy.
Yeah. It's like Dylan Brooks was right next to Ja Morant, like
the most running toxic around, NBA community,
telling him he's fucking the sickest dude in the earth.
Yeah, like going around to strip clubs and like going out till 5 in the morning before games.
Dances before games.
Quick, stat I heard about. I can't remember the exact figures, but. Basically, one of these like stat tracking websites tracked like the worst field goal percentage among high volume shooters, and Dylan Brooks was second worst among this group. And guess who was the worst?
Shooting guards?
Just general high volume
Give
shooters.
Give us a position, though. Give us a position.
Okay, point guard.
Russell?
Westbrook? No.
Yeah.
Yeah. No?
No.
Not
Point guard.
D'Angelo.
No. I don't think you're going to get it.
I think. Who is it?
It's his teammate, Fred VanVleet.
Ja? Oh. No, I had that. That's fair. Fred VanVleet is
No, I wouldn't have
He
gotten
did
that.
not shoot very well last year. And
Maybe
like
their plan is.
defensively, you know, they didn't play a lot of defense last year, and they got two good defenders in VanVleet and Brooks. But man,
I kind of like
they're
the
not
idea
going to
of
be
just,
an efficient team.
No, I like the idea of just letting Udoka just kind of like tell all the kids who were fucking around last year just to like stop, like just be like a real team now. Like you didn't need Dylan Brooks or VanVleet.
They don't need to score when they got Jabari Smith Jr. though. Right?
Yeah.
They got X-Boys Jabari. And no,
You
they
mean
just got
Jalen
rid
Green?
of his.
Yeah,
Jalen Green, yeah.
I'm a Jalen Green guy.
Green
Jabari's
Okay.
indifferent, but
I'm a Sengun guy, personally. I like Sengun.
Yeah.
Dude, did you
He's
guys see
good.
the video of Jalen Green and
Josh Christopher.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, hilarious.
Don't need to get into this dialogue.
And then,
Pretty toxic dialogue
the
surrounding
next
it.
day, Josh Christopher gets traded to Memphis.
Yeah. All right, and I think that's toxic. Why can't the homies be a little gay? Like,
Yeah.
let them
What
do
kind
them,
of
dude?
what kind of precedent are we really setting here? You know,
Just a bit of banter.
you can't just.
I do think that, like, I don't know. I guess maybe Udoka gets him in check a little more, but Dylan
How?
Brooks is going to take shots away from Jabari Smith Jr. Is going to take shots away from Jalen Green.
He's
Is
gonna
going to
get
take
his,
shots.
If he'll
Like-
take shots away from Ja, he'll do it from anyone. Like,
Yeah,
He's getting $80 million now. He's gonna be like kind of like it's kind of fair.
He's also
Yeah, he's
gonna
like,
be
oh,
like
yeah, I'm the
leader
first
of
option.
that team. Yeah,
yeah, this is my team.
by virtue of being like the oldest guy, besides maybe Van Vliet.
Dude, so like, how do we think Ime was supposed to go in there and like reset the culture when Ime got fired for like?
Well,
For
what he
being
did
like-
wasn't like being a clown. That's what he needs to fix.
Just a clown of a
Clown
franchise?
behavior on the court. Yeah, just clowning around in NBA games.
Dude, I mean,
That's what
do
he
you
needs to fix.
do you remember that? Did you guys ever see that clip of Josh Christopher? Like he's like gets subbed out, you know, and Steven Silas, like the old Rockets coach, is like clapping, and Josh Christopher is coming off the court and he's like, just like
Oh, yeah, that was
mocking
crazy.
the
That
coach,
was
dude. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, that's ballsy from a guy like Josh.
Mike
Christopher.
D'Antoni would have had his skull. Mike D'Antoni
Ime
would have hung
would
him
too.
from the Raptors.
I mean, in theory, Ime gets these kids to like, and then there's that like weird, like sort of scripted seeming speech from Steven Silas,
Yeah.
or he's
yeah.
like, I need them to listen to me or like play defense. I don't know. I think there's a part of me that feels like that guy was just sort of plucked out of somewhere to tank super hard with
Yeah.
them.
he was a plant. He was an industry plant.
Like, they didn't want to win. You know,
Yeah.
it was pretty.
It is kind of
apparent.
weird with like, there seems to be a couple like genuinely good coaches for really bad teams with like the Pistons and Monty Williams, and then like this team. Like, it's just kind of a weird thing. I don't know.
I mean, like, if you think about the young talent that they do have, like, if their talent wasn't such fucking dickheads, like, you think that maybe they could grow. But I mean, they got Amen, right? The
Mhm.
draft,
Mhm.
and like drafting a twin, you know, just bound to be a little weird.
What?
What?
Thompson twins are weird. You watch any OTE
Well,
stuff?
yeah, I wasn't just. You just said it was.
Watch, like,
because he's a
highlights.
twin, not just because of who he is. But
Weird.
yeah,
They're weird.
they're basketball nerds. You know,
They're
they're like the opposite of Brandon Miller, and where they knew like every player from like the past 40 years.
Oh,
they're very similar to like the Lopez brothers.
okay. Sure, they're like a
wrong with
little
them.
nerdy.
Ring them
No,
up.
but like more like spectrumy, just like
Okay.
All right.
Noted.
Well, you know, look at Messi, man.
Sometimes works. Yeah. Sometimes works.
Should we move on, or do you want act like you want to rapid fire
underrated?
through some? Or yeah, sure, we can do
Yeah, I could
underrated.
toss them out too.
uh,
Starting.
Patty Mills signed for Atlanta or getting traded to Atlanta. Massive, huge,
What the fuck are you talking about?
huge.
The trades Atlanta made have just seemed like the most pathetic. Like, we have to do these. Like, just have to clear cap. Like, they got jack shit back for John Collins, and then the
Yeah.
weird like Patty
They're in
Mills
trouble.
trade.
They're in trouble.
Rudy Gay for 2 second rounders for John Collins. Like,
Patty Mills kind of sneaky young though. He's only 31.
no way.
Yeah, I would have guessed that he was like fucking 36.
What?
He's actually 31?
No, he's
Oh,
not.
I'm sorry, 34. My bad. He's 34. Never mind.
The fuck did that number come from?
I don't know. I was looking at. I thought 31. Still 34.
No.
I would have guessed like 36.
I would have guessed 35, so fair enough. Underrated for me, Malik Beasley to the Bucks. That's just like someone useful on a vet minimum around Giannis. Like, that seems good on a vet minimum. Torian to the Lakers.
Yeah,
Good.
that's gonna be mine.
Sorry.
Good player.
Sasha Vezenkov to the Kings. EuroLeague MVP.
Yeah, kind of curious about that.
Yeah. To be
I
fair,
have
temper
a-
expectations. Nemanja Bjelica one time. EuroLeague MVP.
I have a question for you guys. When I was
Wait.
done going through them.
I think that was maybe Alexi Shred. Naz Reid, not underrated, but just had
That's
to
what I
throw
was
it
going to
out there.
ask. Actually, that was going to be my question. How do we feel about the money?
Good.
I feel great.
Fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike,
How
I
much
think you
was
gotta
it?
lower. You gotta raise your. It's 14 a year. 3 years, 42.
Yeah.
Cap's going up 10% a year.
Yeah.
You know,
He
Should
earned
I
it too.
run
gonna be
through a
great
few I
value by
don't
the end
like
of it.
too, just to toss them out there.
cat insurance. Good.
Steelers gets a lot of bigs.
Yeah, we do. Grant Will to the Mavs. I just don't like Grant Williams. D'Lo to the Lakers. I mean, it's only 2 years, but like, ugh, what a joke that guy is. Joe
That's
Ingles
similar
getting
to the Kobe White signing. Yeah. Go
yeah.
ahead.
Joe Ingles 2 for 27 million to the Magic.
Nice. I love that. I
Like,
I
love
didn't,
that.
oh my god, I forgot about
Joe
that.
Ingles is a good basketball player.
No,
well,
he's
Joe
not.
Ingles is
He
a
was good, like,
basketball
He
4
player.
years
he
ago.
was a good basketball player.
He hasn't
Now he
done
doesn't
shit.
have
Joe
knees.
Ingles in the
He's on the-
bubble?
yeah.
Remember Joe Ingles in the bubble?
Yes, like 4 years ago. Yeah, 3, 4 years
Shit.
ago. Yeah, Jeremy Grant 5 years for 160 million. Like, it's not a horrible set. It's actually, I don't like the salary
bad.
at all.
That's a
But
lot
just
of time.
committing 5 years to Jeremy Grant, like, that seems disgusting.
Dude, hey, shout out
I don't wanna
Dame,
do.
man. He was like, they, you know, his boy got his bag, and then he was like, I'm out.
Going to Miami.
Shitty contract. I'm out. Yeah, that's what I got.
Do you guys feel Dame is owed to go wherever he wants from Miami? Do we feel like
No.
I don't like the narrative that they have to send him where he wants to go, you know?
No.
And I know I'm kind of backtracking on my K-Love stuff because when I was talking about the Miami thing earlier in the year
Yeah,
when
I mean-
they gave him, but like, I mean, he's putting handcuffs on them.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like
Yeah, and it's funny how his agent has come out and been like, Dame will not play for your shitty ass team.
yeah,
He will not. And it's like, come on.
do not
bro.
trade
Like,
for it.
Yeah.
He will not play.
yeah, I was like, dude, I don't believe that for a second.
Yeah.
You know, like I really
Pathetic
don't.
human.
I think he's a good dude. Like I don't think he's gonna like
Yeah,
throw,
I don't think any
like,
team's gonna
James
risk
Harden
doing
or
it,
like
but
or like straight
yeah.
up not play like Ben Simmons. Like I don't
Dude, he could
I
just
don't
focus
see
on his
that.
rap game.
I don't
Take a
know.
year off, just focus on his bars a little bit.
No, full that. Full that.
Maybe I don't know. He really had his best individual season of his life. Like so, say what you will.
Yeah.
Do you see all the Portland fans tweeting like we don't have to pretend like he's a good rapper anymore?
Wait, Portland fans?
Yeah, because he's
We
getting
only have
traded.
those.
Uh-huh.
Wait, Ike, you don't like the Blazers, right?
Generally speaking, no. I mean, nah.
So I mean, and like you guys also being Wolves fans, I feel like it kind of fits the same narrative. Like it's hard to get free agents to come to, like, it's hard to get free agents to go there, right? So do you think if they were to ship him to somewhere he wants to go, that would actually make it easier? Or do you think that is just
No,
like,
I don't think any player's ever gonna think about that ever again.
yeah?
Like that's like what player's gonna be like when he's deciding between the Trailblazers and the Knicks or the Lakers. It's gonna be like, well, they did send him to the Heat. And I wanted to go to the Heat. Like, if I really do need
The
to
whole
get out of
like
here.
the whole like karma.
Like I just don't think I just don't think it's real.
thing is not real. Yeah, I don't think that's
Yeah.
real. I think I
also-
don't like he should be cheered, when he comes back to Portland.
Yeah.
But I don't think that like they owe
He's
it
doing
to
his
him.
best to make that.
Yeah,
not
I feel like I don't know if at this point I feel like he's kind of destroying that
he will be.
relationship.
He will be, but like just because so long. But I mean, maybe they won't care as much because they've
I mean, you guys still hate
got
Jimmy.
next. They've got next with Scoot.
You guys won't cheer Jimmy
That'll
when he
soften
comes
the
here.
ball. We've played for like
different,
6 seasons.
Different circumstances.
Yeah, he also played here for what, 1.5 seasons. Like what?
2 years.
Yeah, he's injured for like half the year.
Yeah.
So stupid.
I have not.
What are you talking about?
I have not really liked the Nuggets offseason so far.
No.
I mean, they weren't gonna, be able to bring Bruce Brown back, considering what Indiana paid for him,
Probably too much.
and like, right? Yeah, I mean, they had cap space. They fucking spent it on Bruce Brown. He's a good player. Like, whatever, good for them. It's not gonna hurt them. They sure, Jeff Green is replaceable, but he was one of the 7 dudes that played 7-8 dudes that played in the finals, in the Western Conference Finals. Like, lost him, and re-signed Reggie Jackson, who didn't play at all. So it's like, sure, maybe they're betting on Christian Brown to take another step, and they've retained their starting 5, their core, but would have liked to see them do maybe a few more things around the fringes to continue their longevity, I suppose.
So Sam, are you saying you would have liked to see them try to retain the guys that they lost more, or bring in better guys?
Well, I don't think there was a world where they could have brought back
Okay, yeah.
What's his face?
Yeah,
Bruce
that's
Brown,
what I was gonna
but,
say.
Yeah, I don't think their books would have allowed it anyway.
Yeah.
But I don't know, maybe some other guys out there, they could have gone a little more aggressively after.
Yeah.
But
It's kind of weird that
because it's I can't think of that many teams that actively got worse, and I think that they're actually one of them.
Yeah, but it's harder to get better after winning the championship, unless you're the Warriors signing KD,
Yeah,
because those guys get paid.
and you didn't have to do much, but
there's another thing though. People don't really like Mike Malone, I don't think. I was reading stuff players don't like Mike Malone.
Players?
Yeah, players don't like him.
I think you
And,
don't
like,
like him. I also don't like him for the
I
record, but
I don't like him personally, but like I don't think he's well liked amongst like players in the league, and I do think that he's a hard coach, whatever. He's a good coach, but like if you're a free
Did you
agent,
see-
you know,
The Darvin Ham stuff with him recently,
no.
where like a reporter mentioned that like Mike Malone called the Nuggets the Lakers' dad or something, whatever he said, and Darvin Ham's like, "This shit's far from over." You guys got
Wait a
killed,
minute.
man.
Pretty sure it's over. Pretty sure it ended in 4 games.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. That entire thing was like so. I just thought it was annoying on both sides. Like Mike Malone getting butthurt about like
Oh, the
media
constant
coverage.
media shit. Yeah.
And I thought that was a little over the top. Like, sure, you know, big team, but also LeBron James happens to be there. You know, like they're.
He
gonna
just
get
seems like a
covered.
guy who's
Sorry.
like not very funny, and then like people laughed at him once, so he repeated like, "Oh yeah, is LeBron still going like 150 times?"
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. It's like Amy Klobuchar like repeating the same exact joke at every single rally she does,
This
like
one
every
worked.
single time. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like, oh god, dude, here she goes again. And someone makes like a compilation of it. Yeah.
Classic Klobuchar Malone.
She just got a crazy stray here. That was...
Come on, bro. Who cares about Amy Klobuchar, bro? Whatever.
Pay for that name drop on this podcast.
We good to move on?
Yeah.
We take a quick break though.
Yeah. Okay, so the NBA has announced a new in-season tournament. It's not going to interfere. Let me pull it up here. With the regular season, right? And it's like there's going to be one game that's going to be extra, which is a championship in Vegas. And then the stakes are that the winning team gets $500K per player, and the runner-up gets $250K a player, I think. And just another way to sort of spice up the regular season, which can be a little bit of a slog sometimes. What do you guys think about this?
So I like it. I think they're taking a note from like obviously soccer with like having multiple competitions throughout the year. You know, I think the biggest thing is trying to get fan investment into it, which obviously is always the toughest. And in order to get fan investment, you first need to get player investment because you need the players, like the good players, to care. You know, it's like when you're playing in like the FA Cup in England, you know, like maybe they don't care in the first few rounds, but like later on, the deeper it gets, the more they care. So like maybe that would be like a similar kind of vibe for this, but like it's basketball, like the NBA and like Premier League are operated so differently, where I do think it's gonna be tough. I've heard a lot of bad things about like having it be prize money because like it's money that like good players aren't necessarily gonna care too much about. Like even though $500,000's like it's still like. I don't know.
No, it's nothing when you make
nothing.
$50 million
right,
a year.
Fuck it, it's nothing.
Like,
All right,
actually,
I don't think you can have the reward be something that impacts the rest of the year, or else they're not.
and why does it matter?
I mean, that's the thing. Like, you have to try to find a way to make it matter. You know, it's the same. Like, it's like the reward for the FA Cup is like you get to play in Europa, right?
No, what do you get? Smaller teams have like a chance to win a trophy. Like the idea of it all is that like every single team throughout the entire country, like can
sure,
try,
but if you go back
the
the past,
NBA doesst apply.
All right, but if you go back the past 20, how many of those small teams have won?
Decent. I mean, relatively.
In the past
20 years. Yeah.
Who? How many?
Portsmouth won it 1 year. Wigan won it 1 year.
In the past.
Yes.
What division are they in? at the time?
They're all in the Premier League, but like this is where it all started from. It's a competition that has history, so people care about it. This is just, you can't just sprout out some new competition that has no meaning to anyone. Like no one's gonna care.
But how do you start something without it like starting? You know, like you have to try it out. You have to like put it.
No one's gonna care, right?
It
like,
might.
Well,
those
yeah.
teams are in the Premier League, right? Like and then they won it, right? Like
yeah,
obviously it's not always the little teams,
Premier
but
League.
it gives.
There's 30 in the NBA.
I think the idea is that it will build nothing. Obviously, it's new. You know, nothing's gonna it's gonna build history and like hopefully over time extend some meaning to and I like it as like a snapshot of the beginning of the year. You know what I mean?
But
maybe remember Utah was like going crazy at the beginning of the year. What if they like made a deep run or like won the thing? You know, like it could be interesting. I don't know.
I think because when the FA Cup started, it was like 120 years ago when teams weren't so like organized. So that's why it was important back then. Like it had a purpose back then that all teams from the country could come in and be like open. Right now, there is like I don't understand any reason for this to be happening.
The teams that win the FA Cup are still the same teams that like are
now
in England, right?
At this point, yes, but has history and it's an established thing that matters to people.
So you're saying
like I couldn't see a more skippable like set of however many games for a superstar to be like, yeah, I'm just gonna sit this out because I'm a little sore.
All right, but like that's the same thing. But the same thing for the FA Cup. Like you pick whatever you pick your battles sometimes, right?
We're not comparing the FA Cup with this though. This just doesn't matter.
Well,
but
okay.
I think it can. All right.
Think about the Phoenix Suns. Okay. Sure. It doesn't matter to Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, or DeAndre Ayton, but to the rest of those 11 dudes,
it doesn't matter.
That's a lot of.
It doesn't matter.
Hey, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
Eric Gordon's
they're only making
$3.
They're only making $3 million a year.
They've already made it all.
Hey, that's not true. You know, like there's a lot of guys that have not made a ton of money, and $500,000 is $500,000, and
that's something to the lower guys.
If you know, Booker, Durant, Beal, and Ayton want that for their boys. You know.
Do they?
They could be
I think they'd probably
a sneaky favorite for this in-season tournament.
Also, I do think the wanting it for the fans is the most important thing. You're saying if the Wolves get to the semifinals, you're not going to be hyped to try to win a trophy?
I won't count it as a trophy. Like I'll be like, I want them to win, but like,
so you still want them to win. Like that's how history's built. Like the first time something happens is obviously not as important as like the 50th time. Like history gets built through doing stuff. So
also like what are you against it? Like,
no, I just don't think it matters.
Then what
matters?
Like
fine, if you don't have to add
what matters?
Whatever the players think matters. Whatever the best players think matters. They're not gonna care. Like you said earlier, it's important what the players care about. They don't even care about the regular season anymore.
If they get deeper into the tournament, they're going to care more. I do believe. Maybe. Like if you get to the semifinal, like the quarterfinal, like more, like the better players are going to want to play because like they have a chance to like it's something fun. Like I do think they are going to play because they have a chance to win something.
That is.
I think
it's the first time they're doing
there's
something.
Also media pressure. There's fan pressure. Like,
is there going to be media pressure about how you perform in the regular mid-season tournament? Like, is
no.
Like, are we really
I think I'm talking about to play in the thing.
That hasn't worked for the regular season. That actually matters.
Well, like, sort of, but like they need to find ways to make it matter, and I think this is a way that they should at least.
I'm not opposed to it if they could actually have it matter, because like I think it's a fine idea.
The WNBA has been doing this for the past, like, I think 4 or 5 years, right?
Sure.
Obviously, the first year, like, there was more kind of expedition kind of vibe, like a lot of bench players played, but now it's like a very serious tournament that even the starters are like.
Well, yeah, if it
actively
doesn't
trying to
add
win.
any games, they should play in it. Like I'm just saying, like it's just like, yeah, it's just regular
Okay.
season.
So I got some other ideas for the stakes. Yeah.
Yeah.
The winner gets to choose one game where the other team has to sit their 5 best players.
I have a similar one. You just get to kick one player out of the NBA for a season.
Yeah, I had a similar one to that. Yeah. Except I think I said winner gets to snip someone's ACL.
I had 2 ideas. They're both pretty similar. It's kind of you guys seen Money in the Bank in WWE, right?
Sure.
You know, like the Money in the
Yeah,
Bank
you
is
just
like if someone.
steal a
Yeah, you steal, and then you get like a
get
contract
cash.
saying you get a title shot whenever. Essentially, that's how it works WWE. But you could either, it's.
Wait, sorry. Could you explain that?
Poorly.
So essentially, Money in the Bank is a ladder match
Not
in which you have to. It's not money. You will climb up a ladder. You take a suitcase off or a briefcase off, and it's a contract to get a title shot at any moment that you want. You can cash it in whenever. What I'm saying is that you could be able to cash that in whenever, and if you win, you get to pick one player from the other team to come to join your team, and the other team has to still pay their contract.
Well, you would be fucking over the team that made the final.
What? It's
If
not
you
about.
choose,
It's just like.
you're saying a player from any team.
So I'm saying if you win it, right, then you get to go and whenever because everyone plays everybody whenever
you're
you
saying
hold on to it
during
for
the
the year.
game?
Yeah, until the next NBA into the tournament final, you get to hold on to it, and then you can pick any game, be like, this is the game we're cashing in, and if we win, we get Giannis.
Oh, for like forever.
Yeah, for the remainder of his contract. Yeah.
All right. I like that one. I said, yeah. I think that a wager system in the later rounds could be good, where
That would make them care about it.
they both teams have to put up their players' salaries, and they can wager however much
Yeah, or
if they're going to win or not, and then whichever team wins just takes all the money, and the players don't get paid.
In their contract.
Yeah. And so they have to keep playing, but they lose all the.
Starving already, dude.
yeah, and they're just gonna be starving for the rest of the year. Let's see. Like, you got another one?
Some sweet T-shirts. Yeah.
Nice.
You get to cut one player for free. A lone player that makes under $10 million for the rest of the season.
From your own team?
No, from another team, right?
From anyone who makes under 10 million, you just get to pick them from loan for the rest of the season.
Just add them to the roster.
Oh,
Yeah, you just get them.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that one's interesting.
The other one is like
Go ahead.
you play the winner of the lottery for their first pick.
No.
Yes, that's a great one.
You just win every time.
You want me to
Hey, pull up then. Defend. You won the lottery? Come defend
You're
it.
the worst team in the league.
It's mine.
Yeah.
It make people care. Make people would want to win it.
Let's see. Yeah, I had some more tame ones. It was like winner gets to play 10 more away games at home. Winner gets to swap second round picks with whoever they want.
Winner gets bowl.
Yeah. Adam Silver just nabs
Hands over Bol.
Yeah. Keeps him in a fucking closet until the in-season tournament's over.
See, you didn't get picked up this year, Bowl, but halfway through.
There's a reason for that. Let's see. Winner gets to sentence a player to play for the Wizards from another team. So like, yeah, it's like let's say I'm the Suns, and
pretty much just taking them out for the year.
Yeah. And I'm like, all right, well the Nuggets are ahead of me in the standings. Let me just sentence Jokic to Washington.
Winner can erase one championship from another team's history.
Yeah.
Winner gets to unretire one jersey.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
23 is a viable option for the Bulls now.
Let's go. Yeah, give Kobe White 23. I think that was...
So you're saying you're not hanging a banner if you win this? Like, you're not demanding a banner in the TC?
I said a sweet T-shirt. That's what I want.
I want a banner.
Hang a banner.
Hang it like that.
I like it. I think it could be fun, and I think like if it gets a good.
I just wish it meant
like,
something.
But it can mean something. Obviously, right now, it's not going to mean much, right? But you have to build history. Like, it's just how it works. Like, what do you mean?
No, you could have it have implications for the season.
Like what?
We just named 100.
Yeah, we're going to have take down Jordan's jersey from the Raptors.
Yeah.
That's one that
I need that for real.
Players might care about, you know? You could give them you could figure something out. They're more creative than $500,000 that the best players are going to scoff at.
Can you imagine?
Insulted at.
Can you imagine the Bulls are in the finals of this thing, and then they lose, and then Michael Jordan's number gets unretired, and his legacy is erased, and then they just have to face him. That'd be good.
I don't know. I like the idea of keeping it separate because that's how you build. I think that's how you build a model of separate
Well, if they're gonna just replace regular season games, it's not terribly separate, you know.
Well, I mean, it's all just because it's built in, it doesn't mean it's like replacing anything, you know.
So it's like in addition to the 82 games, they're also doing this.
No.
So, but how does every team play the same amount then?
Because there's group play, and then there's
how
does the knockout stage happen? Wait, how does the knockout stage work?
Well, there's like certain slots that are dedicated for the knockout stage. It's like not every team plays the other like teams evenly in an 82 game season, so they're just building that in so that they I don't think that another team or a certain team is going to play a different team like over 4 times.
No, but I'm saying they're going to play more if they're just going to play more in general if they're in the finals, right? Or are they just going to count that
one
towards
game?
82?
Just the final.
Just the final.
I like it.
I like it too. I think it's going to be fun.
I like it.
How do you get just one extra? So how big are the pools? Like I'm not terribly familiar with the concept. Just happen.
It's
3 pools for each conference.
So how does it end up where only 2 teams end up playing extra games?
Because it's just the final.
You only take 1 team from each conference?
No, they play I'm guessing they play in a knockout round.
So
then that would be another game, right?
Look, it's going to be 3 teams or 6 teams total, right? The ones that win the group stage. And then there's going to be 2 wild cards. I can't remember what the exact thing is, where it's like they have the best record maybe during the tournament play, or I mean outside of tournament play in the conference, outside of the teams. And then those teams are in the knockout tournament, and then the final happens, and then it's done.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see.
All right.
Still don't understand, but
we'll
see.
Anything else to cover?
Pat Bev, 76ers. Damn.
Yeah. Tough.
James Harden replacement.
Shit.
James Harden's fat ass going to the Clippers. You know he's not working out at all right now. It's like if I haven't been traded, I am not.
Dude, and because I feel like he also knows that because he opted in to the contract. Like he knows there's
just made it so much harder too.
Yeah, he knows there's a chance that Daryl Morey's not above, like just holding. Yeah, like that's what he did with Ben Simmons. Like he'll do it, and
he'll ruin your life. He will ruin your life.
And I thought that Morey and Harden were boys, but
I mean Morey's done everything for him, and Harden just gets fat somehow. Says I want to leave. Build my entire team around you and Houston, and then he got fat and wanted out.
Yeah, not many all-stars with 3 trade requests. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Was it Thunder, Rockets? Is it? I guess did he? I don't know if he requested one from the Thunder.
He did not.
Kind of just implied.
He just got moved, and then the
he
Rockets.
Just kind of had to.
There was a trade request from the Rockets, and then there's a trade request from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Number 3. All right. Wrap us up.
Don't have the right notebook, but Mike, what you been up to? What you got?
Well, it's helping you move.
I'd rather wrap it up. Yep. All right, let's do it.
Oh God.